13 years. 13 years is a really long time for a single game to reign supreme and remain on top of the gaming charts. It's got 13 years of content, 13 years of online updates, 13 years of videos on YouTube, 13 years of pictures, 13 years of funny moments, roleplay, streaming careers made, streaming careers ended. This game truly has it all. This game has defined a decade of gaming for what I believe is 90% of gamers ever. Whether you like it or not, no other game has ever had support and longevity in the gaming scene quite like Grand Theft Auto 5. Grand Theft Auto 5. This game really sets the bar for an open world roleplay game. With a vast and sprawling map with a huge dynamic range of ocean highway drives, a dense huge cityscape, the suburbs, and also the middle of the map with a giant ass mountain. The online part of the game also features a second map, sort of like an expansion that really isn't an expansion at all. It's called Cayo Perico. This map is truly bliss. It's a non-free roam map that really hid an aesthetic that makes the map work well when you think it is owned by a massive drug mule. Whereas in Grand Theft Auto 4, you had a gritty, darker and more realistically themed story in the more grimy New York City clone known as Liberty City. Grand Theft Auto 5 takes place in a fictional LA, Los Santos. Grand Theft Auto 5 also features a more satirical story and really does its best to try and not take itself too seriously, which goes well with the game's theme. In an interesting twist, this game features 3 protagonists, which you can switch between seamlessly and whenever you want to. The 3 protagonists are Franklin Clinton, Michael DeSanta, and Trevor Phillips. Now each of these characters really resemble what type of game you, the player, would like to play. Where Franklin is a young thug type character trying to do more good than bad to get away from the street life. Michael, on the other hand, is a retired bank robber. He is a successful one at that. And Trevor Phillips, he is a very erratic, menacing and violent bank robber with a massive mouth. He is also Michael's old bank robber partner. So you have the father figure, which would be Michael, the young blood, Franklin, and the devil on the shoulder, Trevor. The character who really makes you think, is Trevor really a hero in the story? Short answer, no. When I think of Grand Theft Auto 5's story, I'm really trying to think of ways it innovates from Grand Theft Auto 4's story. And I think it's the choice at the end that really sets it apart, other than the 3 playable characters. The choice at the end is a 1 of 3 choice you can make as a player, where Franklin can either kill Michael, he could kill Trevor, or he could kill no one, and all 3 protagonists will survive. This choice is huge, and it really gives the freedom of choice back to the player. It also lets you choose whether Franklin is really the protagonist in the story, or the antagonist in the story. I personally didn't kill Michael or Trevor. I didn't think either of them had to die to make the story make sense. I'm sure as it's 2026, you've all played through the Grand Theft Auto 5 story by now, so I won't ramble on about the story, other than it's more of a 7 out of 10 campaign for me. Another massive topic I would like to talk about is the driving, and how it has changed from the previous titles in the Grand Theft Auto series. In Grand Theft Auto 4, the driving felt weighty. It punished trying to speed through corners, and made car body types feel more unique, traction and control wise. The bigger and heavier SUVs and 4x4s all felt heavy in the corners, and if you were to push them, you could end up flipping the car on the corner. Also, the braking was slower due to the heavier weight on the cars themselves. I was a massive fan of Grand Theft Auto 4's driving. It added that challenge and made good driving stand out, and it was impressive to watch a good driver play the game. On the contrary, in Grand Theft Auto 5, they took an arcade approach to the driving and handling model. The cars didn't feel weighty anymore, and there was never a time I flipped an SUV or 4x4 because I was trying to take a corner too fast. They really dumbed it down for the greater audience and made sure it was more user friendly. Now, whilst looking back at it, this was a reasonable change. I think a hybrid driving experience would have been more desired in my opinion. One that gives each car its weighty feel, and the user needs to be smarter on the driving conditions and how fast they can drive it. This is my hope for the next entry coming on the 19th of November this year. With Grand Theft Auto 5's driving being essentially linear on all class types in the game, driving was very easy and simple. There was no more ejectocito cars type gameplay when you hit the concrete barrier, like in Grand Theft Auto 4, as now in Grand Theft Auto 5, your seatbelt is always on. Where in 4, you would be spat through the front window on almost all crashes in the game. Let's talk about the guns. The guns in Grand Theft Auto 5 are in abundance. There are so many to choose from, and the selection has grown throughout the 13 years, and only makes choosing what gun to use all the more confusing. Now, my top 3 weapons in Grand Theft Auto 5 are the heavy sniper, the bullpup rifle, and the sticky bomb. The heavy sniper, online, was a beast and is still so. It's the best and most expensive vanilla sniper rifle, dealing the most damage as well. A confident user will be able to perfectly decapitate an enemy very quickly with this accurate weapon. It is beyond satisfying killing a player out of a jet, or out of a heli, or even out of a fast moving car. The bullpup rifle is a DLC weapon, and in my eyes became the meta weapon of Grand Theft Auto Online for some time. I believe it has now been nerfed though. It has a fast fire rate, it has great damage, and it was just a nice gun to shoot in this third-person RPG. Now, the sticky bomb. I'm trying to figure out a way to explain this one for you guys. It's basically my kryptonite. I cannot throw these accurately, and I usually just end up blowing up my friends' cars rather than any enemy I'm trying to kill. These were great for booby traps for enemies or even your friends in an online lobby. So much fun. Now, guns in Grand Theft Auto all range from the silly melee weapons, to the pistols, to the explosives, to the assault rifles and sniper rifles, LMGs, and big ol' Gatling guns. Grand Theft Auto 5 truly did have it all. Now, when I say weapons are in abundance in Grand Theft Auto 5, cars, on the other hand, are this game's bread and butter. It's in the name. Auto. Automobile? Autism? I don't know. There are too many to count in Grand Theft Auto Online now, and also too many being removed by Rockstar. L. Rockstar, truly an L right there. I'll rattle a few off that are my favourites. There is the Entity. Is it called the Entity? Is it the Entity XF? Yeah. The Entity XF. The Adder. And also the Elegy Custom, or the Retro Elegy Custom, and so many more. The cars I just listed make up maybe 3% of my brain function. No, they make up maybe 3% of the car list in Grand Theft Auto 5 Online. The Entity XF was a quick knockoff Koenigsegg Agera. The Adder was the fastest vanilla car in the game and a knockoff Bugatti Veyron. The 9F was my baby. In short, it was a fast sports car knockoff of the Audi R8. And in later online updates, the Retro Elegy Custom was a fast sports car, and Grand Theft Auto 5's version of the Nissan Skyline R33/R34 Hybrid. These cars are all upgradable in the game's mod shop, Los Santos Customs, and also Benny's Car Works. The customization in Grand Theft Auto is limitless. You can truly make the car you purchased in-game yours. You can change every detail of the vehicle and make it a riced-out show pony. This is the case for 99% of cars in the game. You can clearly see why this game is deemed a timeless classic that still tops the charts 13 years after release. Look, if I'm going to be real, there are so many versions of this fucking game. I skipped a lot of the game's DLC content and just didn't return to try any of it. So I'll try not to talk about that aspect of the game. Unfortunately, I think it's time to touch on the microtransactions that plague this game and are a core reason it still exists, and in my honest opinion, why we haven't had Grand Theft Auto 6 sooner. Now, in your typical game, skins sell. CSGO, Fortnite, Call of Duty, Overwatch, probably Rainbow Six Siege, Counter-Strike 2, Battlefield. That's just to list a few. In Grand Theft Auto 5, it's almost a fear of missing out type of marketing. You can use your real life money to purchase in-game money in the form of shark cards. Now, maybe when the game was first out, this was okay and passable. And you were like, fuck it, I like the adder, I'll buy some in-game money for that. But now, as the game has been updated, changed and moulded, the greedier the publisher has become. Every update changed the in-game economy, where very quietly, Rockstar started making each new in-game car and item more and more expensive. So now a 4-door sedan is worth $2 million instead of $40,000 when the game first launched. Why do you think they increased prices? Yeah, it's because of the fear of missing out and lack of time. To make the money to buy one of the newest cars, you need to commit to a mundane grind which takes hours of your time, where you can just shortcut that grind and purchase in-game money. So inflate the in-game economy so players are more likely to purchase these shark cards so they don't have to commit to a tedious grind to afford one new car. To make it worse, every update adds like 3 cars. So yeah, GG's Rockstar, you billion-dollar company. They like to use the fact that they added so many high-paying missions and heists that naturally the economy has inflated because of the higher earnings. This isn't real life, Rockstar. This is a video game. This is just blatant corporate greed. Not to mention you seem to love nerfing the payouts in a negative way because you can't have us earning too much too quickly or we won't buy a shark card. God damn. Not to mention missions are time-based payouts, where the longer you take, the more money you get. It's great retention abuse right there. Keeping us, the gamer, playing your game for longer makes you more money from investors. God damn. Anyways, moving on from that, the other types of vehicles you can buy in Grand Theft Auto 5 Online are aircraft, boats, and marine vehicles, and also military vehicles such as a tank. These don't get stored in your player accommodation. No. These go to something called Pegasus, or Elite's Air Travel, and other ones. I can't really remember the name of them. Basically, these vehicles, in an attempt to make it more balanced, are called in vehicles. That means you can only call them one at a time, and time in between so you cannot just spam out OP military vehicles. Other call-in services that break the monotony of the online mode are Leicester and Lamar, and others like Moore's Mutual Insurance. Leicester lets you perform sneaky plays like removing your wanted level or removing your blip from the mini-map online for a short amount of time. I'm pretty sure you have to call Lamar also to assign a mugger to attack another player online. It was a lot of fun to do this whilst doing a lobby-wide car meet. I think the community is huge for the online mode. Whether it's the creatives that like to create races and also modes, or it's the car meet guys that host the car meet more than one time in a lobby to show off their latest whips, even though a car meet usually ends in someone rocking up in a tank or a laser jet. Now, the content creators we all came to love, like Vanos, H2O Delirious, Louis Calibre, I hope I pronounced that right, they were all grinding out the content for us to consume and love. I almost forgot to mention KYR Speedy in this list, how dare I? These content creators, past and present, all help the online mode carry this game for the foreseeable future. The content created has now changed. Gone are the days of funny moments. We now have the RP wave, and it's still building. RP revived Grand Theft Auto Online, especially through the 2020s when a certain thing caused the world to have lockdowns. RP, or roleplay, is a massive server where all your favourite content creators play their characters' lives. It's online LARPing with less cringe and less medieval shit. Creators like Summit1G, XQC, Hutch, Shots, Poke, Estefand, Timac, McConnell, and the notorious Mr. Moon. RP really took GTA Online, flipped it on its head, and the players started making the story instead of the developers trying to. Whether it's day jobs like towing or playing law-abiding citizens, or whether you're in the criminal underground doing complex heists, or if you're on the right side of the law and are in the EMS or the police. RP had it all, and it was pretty seamless to watch and enjoy. I cannot think of an online update that had really had an effect on the player base quite like the effect RP had on the player base. We are 13 years deep, and content has dried up a lot. The game gets maybe 2 big updates a year, where the devs try to cook up something new for the players to still engage with. But let's be honest, they are just adding already added missions, changing them a little bit and pushing them out. Nothing is really new in GTA Online now. It's all mundane and quite boring. I think this is what happens when a game has lived longer than it should have. RP at this point is beating a dead horse. It's not really as good as it once was, because I feel like I've experienced it all now. They added mansions 13 years into the game's life, and it was asked for in year 1. It's a little bit of the old saying, too little, too late. I'm certainly not interested in it, nor am I interested in the return of story character Michael DeSanta. It's once again, too little, too late. There is only so many times I can do the map loop in the fastest car. There is only so many times I can partake in a 30-player war in the city before someone, or multiple someones, hop on a fucking futuristic missile bike and start dominating the server. Which is sad to say. Grand Theft Auto 5 had it all, but it's on life support and it's about time. The sad reality is, the reason it's on life support isn't the lack of content or drama, it's the simple fact that the next game is soon to be released. Now, I briefly mentioned futuristic vehicles before. These single-handedly ruined the online experience for mostly everyone. New players just get griefed at this point by someone on a Mark II oppressor or a flying DeLorean with missiles. The game has flying cars, flying bikes, really strong futuristic tanks that don't blow up easily, stealth bombers where you don't appear on the radar. All this is the downfall. They took it too far in hopes little Timmy wants it badly enough he will beg mummy and daddy to buy the bike and DeLorean. Bruh. Make the DeLorean accurate and get me back to the late 2013's vanilla boots on the ground Grand Theft Auto Online, and not this shit. This shit sucks. You can't do anything now if you don't have a flying fucking bike. It's the meta. Meta for PvP. Meta for the missions that require you to travel between like 4 waypoints, which is fucking all of them. What the fuck, Rockstar? Why would you do this? I'm really in my ways. These vehicles are a shit show and don't belong in this title that is also set in 2013. So narratively speaking, these vehicles are horseshit. They are just a money grab for fear of missing out vehicles, because if you don't have them, someone else will, and you won't be able to have fun or fight fairly in a war without them. Like, this is the downfall of the whole online game mode. I really wish they had an option for a vanilla online experience, and it cuts all the futuristic shit from this game. Life would be great, and the game would be so much fucking fun. Alright, moving on. As we head closer and closer to the release of Grand Theft Auto 6, it only seems fitting to give this game a proper send-off. I found my best friend of 13 years online on this game, Sam. I mention him a lot because I wouldn't be the gamer I am today without meeting him on this game. I am so thankful for Grand Theft Auto 5 for this. The memories and the 16-hour sessions with Sam and other friend Cody will be remembered in my life forever. Some of, if not the most funny gaming experiences I've ever had. Throughout the years, we no longer played this game and never really kept up to date. The updates kept rolling in and we just had no interest. I think I have 1,500 hours online. I know Sam has way more than I do. If I was to give this game a score out of 10, including story and multiplayer together, it would be 9 out of 10. It loses a point due to the senseless corporate greed and the need to add fear of missing out vehicles and military vehicles. It wasn't needed at all, and flying vehicles like cars and bikes have no business being in GTA, especially the weaponized variants. So I think a thank you is in order. Thank you, Rockstar. Truly, Grand Theft Auto 5 really gave me so much. Yes, I haven't been around to see it all, but it gave me my best friend. Basically a brother for 13 years going strong. It gave me moments like the bounty game that I will hold close to my chest forever. It allowed me to become the gamer I am today. So for that, I thank you. I have so much more to say, but really can't find the words for you. This game is just a decade old, and is still a staple in the online gaming space. Grand Theft Auto 6 can't come fast enough. I hope they don't feel the need to add stupid vehicles and leave the vanilla experience to beat the test of times. I'm so ready for the classic YouTubers to bring more content that has now stopped for 10 years. I'm excited for a fresh story and a map that hasn't been seen for over 10 years as well. I'm so ready for Grand Theft Auto 6. I know most of this video focused on the online part of Grand Theft Auto 5, however, that feels like the main experience now. It's what I am most familiar with as well. The story mode was a great 7 out of 10. That isn't a bad score. People do also play the story mode, whether it's speedrunning it, modding the game and making it look like a 2077 super realistic masterpiece, or just playing the story for the first time. I played through the story twice, once on the PlayStation 3 and once on the PlayStation 4. I am very jealous I can't experience it for the first time again, like a lot of the younger audience are doing right now. Maybe I will replay it before Grand Theft Auto 6 drops, just as a bit of a nostalgia hit. But when I think of a review, I can't skip the game's money-making mode, the mode in which all players still play 13 years later. Regardless of the futuristic bullshit added or the balancing of the weapons, the online mode is still active and healthy. With all this said, feel free to leave your thoughts about Grand Theft Auto 5 down in the comments, your experiences, what you think killed the online mode, what shoes you have on. All of it in the comments. If you liked this video and you would like to see more, please leave a like and subscribe if you would like to. I'll have a new video out really soon. Thank you all so much for watching. Goodbye.